welcome to the Daring Player Squad.
Welcome to the Daring Player Squad channel. My name's Rashi.
What up?
Hello.
My name is Joyce of the Daring Player Squad, and
I got you. I'm moving out of the area really quick.
oh no! God!
I swear to sweet Jesus Christ, if there's someone in here, I'm gonna.
Oh, excuse me. That's gotta be pee, honestly.
Literally telling me that I'm a punk bitch. Inventory. Excuse me.
Come on. Yes. Maybe we should get a robe and wizard hat for some guy.
Sora, do you see dead people? Doesn't matter who you love. Everyone's got a pooper.
No, Cloud, you son of a bitch!
Oh, he's so. Oh, Jesus Christ!
And this is the Daring Player Squad. Hold on.
Test. Oh god, that's not the right screen at all. That's much better. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Daring Player Squad. My name is James, and I am very, very behind on my housework. Ads are gonna start right now. Woo, improv setup. Little bit. Same computer, same camera setup, same microphone setup. Come on, Ad. I'll distract for a little bit. But while I'm doing that, can I make that bigger? Nope, I cannot. We're just gonna chill for a little bit. Yeah, I timed that badly. That's okay. Just gonna wait. Light, I think we can do a little bit better. Yeah. That should be fine. Okay, that should be alright. Ads are over. Hello. Welcome back again. Camera's over there. I should really fix that, or I'm gonna confuse the hell out of myself. I don't know. No, I'll just have to know that the camera's over there, and if I look at the wrong screen, that's my own fault. Anyways, hello, yes. So this is the story, is we're in between games right now, and I'm gonna touch the Yeti, I'm gonna break all of the audio. Yay, it's still good. Yeah, so we've got our first for the year non-convention Saber Guild show tomorrow. These are all people who called us up to do some shows after they saw us at Fan Expo, which is cool. So we got a couple in the pipe for literally tomorrow and next month, and it's pretty exciting. We've never done this before, like things that weren't at the con or at the Granville Island Market. I'm just checking to see if I got the... Nope. I do not have that set up right. It is repeating... It was not repeating. It was repeating one song, not all the songs. Yeah, so tomorrow morning is me and one of the other folks. We're going to be driving out to Chilliwack for some youth pastors' spring break camp. So we got 21 kids. They're going to be doing that signed up to do our little lesson. So we're going to do that for like, half an hour, 45 minutes or so. Then we off back home. It should be mostly fine. The part that sucks is, of course, Chilliwack is like an hour and a half away from where we all live here in Metro Vancouver. That's fine. But it should be pretty fun. A youth pastor? Yeah, again, that question is like, what is a youth pastor from Chilliwack doing at Fan Expo? But my understanding is that's what I was told. That's who he was. But again, I'm not the boss, so I'm just getting the copy pastes from the emails. But yeah, he spoke to us, I think on the Saturday of Fan Expo. Because after we did the kids show, I think he just kind of popped over. Hey, I have an idea if we could do this. So we said yes, that's fine, we can do that. And so now I gotta drive out tomorrow morning real early. And then I gotta drive back and then go to work. That'll be fun. So Christians and the Force are mixed. Yeah, I was thinking about that a little bit because like I mean, and again, it's like it's a spring break camp. I think. I don't know what denomination he working with, but I think we're gonna run on the assumption that everyone kind of understands that we're just playing. This is not serious business, but we are gonna show you guys how to fight with swords a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. So there's a lot of talk about like how much how much in character do we need to do? How much like show do we need to do? So I think we're mostly playing at the angle. Like some Christians are chill, but a lot of them forgot Luke 28 exists. I would have to look up which one Luke 28 is, but yeah. So we'll see. I do know that Canada as a whole is quite curiously like a lot more Catholic than you think they'd be. But I don't know how often the Catholics are doing spring break neighbors. Love your neighbor. Oh, that's an obvious one. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna presume this fellow is just like he's a godly nerd who's just like what, this is fun stuff, and we're having a spring break camp, and again, it's just that thing where it's you think. But I mean, like I did a summer camp one time at this what was it, Camp Latona. It was technically a religious camp, but I mean we still did the regular stuff, just like archery, camping, boating, swimming. Not too much swimming. I was really bad at swimming back then. Not important, but just in the end, it's just like something fun for the kids, so that they don't go crazy and get into shenanigans during spring break. So I think we're running on the assumption it's like this like kindergarten to grade 5 kind of demographic. We'll see when we get there. But yeah, I think it'll be all right. And again, it's nothing we don't already know how to do, so I think we'll be okay. So that's set. I haven't touched my Jedi costume since Fan Expo. Like a month ago. I didn't sweat it too bad, luckily, because it was February, and it is linen, which is very breathable. But that said, it's linen, so it wrinkles just by looking at it funny. So we got some work to do. Also, I decided I don't want to wear the sweater. Thought it would look good aesthetically. I see now I was wrong. So we need to go. So here is our pile of costume. Also, you know what? I have chroma on, and that will not work well because my costume is a lot of green. I was thinking about that before I got here, and then I forgot to do it. That's embarrassing. Alright, so what do we got here? What do we got here in this pile? We've got pants. Pants are pants. According to the costume CLR, it's actually really easygoing for Jedi pants. Like you can literally just wear like khakis, because most of like the modernish looking stuff is gonna be covered up by the rest of the thing. So it's pants, you get pockets. My stupid ass is like, no, I made pants like literally 14 years ago. 13 years ago? 13, 14 years ago. These are actually my original Flynn Rider pants. I made them and they fit and they were pretty nice. And then I got my boots, and the boots were the exact same shade of brown, and I was like, oh, that's no good. That's not aesthetic at all. So I went out and bought some lighter brown pants, and those became the Flynn Rider pants. And it was great. But then the Flynn Rider pants got a big hole in the crotch now, so I can't wear those anymore. So I'm going to wear these ones. Also, I'm like 30 pounds fatter than back then. So even now, these pants are a little tighter than they need to be. They could afford to be a lot puffier, but you know, it's fine. That's the bottoms, and then we've got the tops. So here we have our inner tunic. Because it's an inner, I cheated and I didn't make it with sleeves. Yeah, it's fine. This doesn't have to look too fancy. It's got some ties to keep it closed on the inside. It's very much like I made ties kind of like a gi. That's the inner. And then we got a big pile of stuff. And then we got. I should unhook those. This is the outer tunic. This is the one that caused me all the grief. And when I say me, I mean Gabby, the local costume friend, who had to make sure this thing was up to code, because it was really not up to code the first couple times. And it's long, it goes almost to the knees. It airplanes out a little bit because I saw a guide on how to make them, and they had them flare out at the hips. I didn't understand. The point of that was for people who had hips. So it was just like, so we submitted it, and they're just like, well, there's pleats in it. There shouldn't be pleats. It's like, those aren't pleats. It's like, well, they really look like pleats. So it took a lot of, we had to cut that in, and that was a pain in the pooper. But I mean, it took a couple tries, but we got it, so it's done. It is approved. And until it breaks, we never have to do it again. So it's just outer tunic, long ass sleeve. It's got a tuck in the shoulder. That is not a mandatory thing, but it just looks a lot better, so we do that. And there's a couple snaps in there to keep it closed, because every time I start getting active doing the saber stuff, everything opens up a bit, and that's dangerous. And it's funny. Here is the obi, the belt. I actually made mine almost obi, like actual obi-ish, where it's like long as fuck and it's got to wrap around a couple times. Everyone else wraps around once and velcros and it's done. And they just look at me, I was like, why is yours so long? It just felt right to do it that way. That's just a big pile of stuff that we need to iron and flatten out. And then finally we got the tabards. These, I actually had to dye them to a darker green to get them the color that I wanted. But no, just two long strips of green, and they hang in the front and they hang in the back. And they've probably eaten, bless you, and they've probably eaten a few stains from eating at cons more than I would like, and it's very sad. Anyways, we got work to do. So linen, we are going to use the absolute hottest setting, no pressure. And we will actually start one level down. We will take care of the pants. The pants aren't even that bad right now, so that's fine. Heats up. What other bits of the kit do we have? We got, of course, our costume boots, literally from a site called like HalloweenCostumes.com. These fit the nicest because it is an American company, which means the legs are reasonable sizes and not skinny AF sizes. Laundry string a little bit. I was saying I've got a Saber Guild show tomorrow morning in Chilliwack, so I need to iron all my shits because I haven't done that since Fan Expo. Man, I had to iron this damn thing every day, like every night after con. I'd come home and I'd just iron it, so that I could wear it again the next day. It was awful. But also, Roger, how are you doing? How's your boy? And then, of course, the most important piece that requires the most extra help. The Jedi belt. This thing is really cool. And I'm fortunate that our boss... Good, boys, good. 4 months now. How's friend James? Mostly okay. Stressing about money as always, as I always shall be for the rest of my life. But we're doing okay. Star Wars stuff is going really well. I'm enjoying that. But yeah, so the boss made me the belt so that I could actually get approved properly. It's got the cool food capsules. It's got a pouch, which is the minimum requirement. 2 is preferred, but 1 is enough to pass. And of course, there's the cover tech clip to clip a saber off of if you so chose. Now, the irony here is when we got our belt sized, all you need is a woman's razor to complete the set. I know, right? I've thought about that. It's like, should I make the communicator out of the women's Venus leg razor? Maybe, but not right now. But the funny thing with the back was, you know, they're like, how tight does this need to be? And then we, you know, it's like, oh, just keep in mind there's gonna be like a couple of layers of clothes in there. So I was wearing a hoodie that day. I was like, all right, there it is. And then I was like, no, it's slipping, it's falling. So it's funny that all of us like cinched our belts tighter than what we thought. So like they're snug. I'm so glad you get that reference. I super get that reference. This is the women's. I forget if it was a Gillette razor like shaver or a Schick shaver, but that's one of those like bits of trivia where everyone's like, "Did you know?" I was like laughing about that with you were doing the thing. It was like, you know that scene when Aragorn kicks the helmet. It's like, did you know that he actually broke his toe during that? And he screamed out loud from the pain, and they used that as the take that they used in the film. And it's like, yeah, everyone knows that. Where like we were out and we were talking about like death noises. It's like, you know what it actually sounds like when you get stabbed in the back, because Christopher Lee does. Like, did you know? It's just one of those things. Anyways, yeah. So we all cinched our shits a lot extra tight, so they snug. The other funny thing about the belt was that when I got it, you know, like I think Neville, our local boss, wonderful man. He generally he charges, you know, like, you know, for parts. He doesn't really charge for labor, but he charges for materials. So I think he usually charges like maybe like $50, $100, something like that for a belt. I get mine, and I was like, all right, what do I owe you? He's like, don't worry about it. I was like, Jesus. Part of it is because they really, really wanted me to fucking hurry up and get a Jedi approved so that I could actually properly do stuff with them, because I'd already practiced them with them for like 4 years. At some point afterwards, I sort of half joked, sort of seriously. I was like, you didn't charge me for that belt so that you can own my soul, didn't you? And he just kind of laughed. He's like, ha, you figured me out, he says. But that's fine. I got his back. So yeah, I think the other thing with that belt that took me a while to realize was the belt goes around the waist, not the hips. I spent so much time with like gun belts and stuff, so I was wearing that on my hips, and just my body proportions looked like wrong. Like I looked like a dwarf. And then eventually I realized, oh no, this is supposed to be higher on the waist. It's like, oh, and then everything made a lot more sense. And I was like, oh, okay, I was screwing up. Anyways, this thing's been hot for a while. Let's do some work. But yeah, so that's gonna be tomorrow. This kids lesson. I'm actually super fortunate that the person I'm going over with is Kim. If any of you were here when I was doing the Fan Expo and TsukinoCon streams, Kim was the other Jedi that I was doing a lot of stuff with. They are actually professionally teaching. They're an actual like elementary school substitute teacher. So they have actual education in how to educate and wrangle children, and that showed up big time during Fan Expo, like when the damn kids started like climbing up on the stage and teacher voice had to come out. That was pretty hardcore. So like again, this is a skill set we've never had with the group, so that's cool. So gearing up for this particular thing, Kim has been prepping me a lot on just like the do's and don'ts. You know, like one of the things they said was, you know, once we start this, your job is to learn at least 2 kids' names. Learn at least 2 of them, and then like you'll figure out exactly which ones, like immediately, which ones are gonna be like the helpful, useful ones. for helping you do the stuff. If you have to call on someone to be, you know, like an example or to be a leader type thing. So get at least 2 kids' names. Like, okay. And just other stuff like, you know, we're gonna be really strict with the handling of the foam swords that we're gonna give them. Basically, you know, if you have to listen to us and do exactly as we say, and you start swinging around at other people when you're not supposed to, we will take it away from you, and you will sit out the rest of the lesson. And it's like literally just like execute one, and then the rest will fall in line. But Kim was a super serious, like, she's like, no, you have to be, to me, they were just like, you have to be on top of that. Like, you have to commit to that. You can't half-ass that. And I was like, okay, I can do that. And just stuff, just more like the theory of it, where, you know, how old is this kid? That is how many minutes of attention you're gonna get out of them at a time. So it's like, damn, okay. Yeah, so it's cool to have Kim help with this kind of stuff. Learning a lot. I remember one of the practices, I was like, you know, you always see that meme is like, you know, like how to talk to children. It's like, do you talk to them like this, looking down, or do you crouch down to their level? I was like, so Kim, what is the right answer to that? And Kim was like, well, it depends. And it was just like, if you need to assert your kind of authority and dominance, then you stay standing, stay above them. But if it's like, you know, maybe someone that, you know, you need to come down to their level to calm them down, then you do that. And they were saying, you know, I do that a lot with like the girls in the class, because a lot of them are just inherently kind of quieter and more reserved than some of the boys. Like, okay. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Roger, if you're still in here, the exciting one after this show is May 4th. We got a gig with the local SCA guys. I'm super excited about that one. So the local group of the Society of Creative Anachronism. Those are like, how do you describe them? It's like the largest global LARP group. LARP group. And all of them are just like anything from 1066 to like 1666 or something like that. Actually, it's probably earlier than that too. But they are doing an event on May 4th, which is a Saturday this year. And I guess they're going slightly Star Wars themed, but of course they're still doing their like medieval thing. But because of that, they were asking us, like, at the cons, like, hey, we're doing this thing. Like, we would love to have you guys come out and, you know, do a kids lesson and do a little like halftime show to break up the time between our 2 sword tournaments. And all of us is like, yes, please. Yes, please, can we do this? So that's going to be, yeah, about a month from now. Which, of course, means, like, we need to start prepping for that real soon. Because we only get together to practice, like, once a week. Unless we go out of our way to, like, get some extra practice in or something. So if this is, like, new stuff, new show stuff, then we gotta figure that out right now. Like, really fast. But I'm excited for it, not just because like going to the thing is gonna be fun as hell, because, you know, like while we're not on, anytime we're not like performing, like we can just walk around and like take in the event, and I feel like this will be a fun one. Realistically, this will be a very fun one. But the other part that's going to be crazy is this is going to be the first time this is a show that's not specifically for children. Which means all the restrictions with the kids show are no longer a thing. So the big one is we can kill each other now. The show can involve us actually killing each other. We've never done that. It's a funny thing to say out loud, but it's true. No, all the kids shows, it always ends with It's always bloodless. Generally, you defeat the Sith peacefully. They surrender, and then you're all friends at the end. Supposedly, the other answer is yes. Is that like even if it's like not the kids show, and even if the bad guys win, this usually ends with like stormtroopers running in and then capturing the Jedi or something like that. So no, straight up, we can gut each other in this one. So I've got a couple ideas on how to do the show. Let's see if I actually have a chance to plan that out and get people to practice it out. But yeah, it's gonna be tricky because this week, of course, Ashley and I and a couple other people, we're all going to Seattle this week for SakuraCon, which is the big Seattle anime con. We all used to go there so much, and we don't do it anymore because Emerald City Comic Con was around the same time. It's just like it's just hard to justify going to both. It's a lot of time spent.
Because we don't have money.
Because we don't have money. But we're going to go this year because Ash got into Artist Alley at SakuraCon. So we're going to make that weeb money. Hopefully it goes really well. Right, collar. Are you ironed and happy? You're basically ironed and happy. Alright. Collar for that one. Now, there's so many other materials that are approved materials for the Jedi costume. It could have been like the wool knit or like the muslin, you know, all these other things. But no, the old boss sold me linen. And this is my life now. Who else is in here right now? Okay. Alright, that's one. I don't want to do the tunic again. Let's do the straight line ones first. So yeah, so I'm super hyped for that one. I think I've got a cool idea for a show. Like, the kids show, at this point, I feel like all of us can pretty much wing it. Like, we know the gist of it is, you know, we come out, we introduce the kids, we talk about the Force, we we gaslight the children into thinking they have superpowers. They get all hype about that. And then we do a little lightsaber demonstration, and then they get the lightsabers, and we teach them how to do a couple things. Easy, right? So reasonably, we can mostly wing that. I'm kind of thinking where I was going to put Kim and Gabby into that one, because as the character as the local temple lore started spreading out, we decided that Kim's character would actually be the apprentice to Gabby's character, and just we all thought that was hilarious. And we rolled with it, and we wrote that into the story of the last show we did. Partially because it was a bit of a meta joke, meta reference, because the whole thing was like, oh, like Master Riga Dovan is in the med bay in serious condition because of the shuttle accident. The actual reason was that we were suspecting that Gabby might have been getting a hysterectomy at the time, so Gabby could not do saber stuff. So we're like, okay, Gabby's in the med bay. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's how that iteration of cast happened. The best part is I'm probably going to dress up mostly before I get into the car, because we're not going to be able to get into the school until like 10 o'clock, and the show is going to be like 10:15 or 10:30, so it's best we just show up changed. So of course, that's going to what's going to happen is I'm going to iron everything like immaculately now. I'm going to put it on, immediately sit in the car for an hour, hour and a half. That's fine. But yeah, so Kim has had a lot of recent practice doing this kids show. Like they've done they've done 2. Technically they've done 5. So the first time we ever did the show was Granville Island last summer. And yeah, we did 3 back-to-back-to-back shows. So we got very good with the show. And then Fan Expo, the show got even better because we just made it better. So reasonably, Kim could like actually ask them like, "Hey, Kim, do you want to take point on the kids' lesson?" And they're just like, "Yeah, sure." Like, okay, cool. Like mostly, they would just have to come up with their own spiel on like, what is the Force? How do you use the Force? What's a lightsaber? What do you have to say about a lightsaber? And that was always the fun things, like, because I was working off of Gabby's script a lot for their original kids lesson show, and theirs is very much like the Force is an amazing power and comes from all living things, including like your family, even your pets and stuff like that. And me and my script just straight up like the Force isn't a power per se; it's more like a blah 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 blah. The other one was lightsabers. I was trying to think, how do you describe lightsabers to people? And I went with the angle of, we live in a galaxy in a universe filled with like laser guns and explosives and like basically nuclear weapons, and we use a little laser sword. None of it makes sense. And so I was playing up the angle that this is we're peacekeepers. We don't want to be walking around with explicitly terrifying looking weapons. This is just a little metal tube that sits right here, and it is very inconspicuous until we need to use it. I think I read that on a thing. It's like, why don't lightsabers look more like this or that? Or why don't they have more of this and that? And it's like, well, they don't want to because allegedly, they don't want them to look like that because they want people to not be afraid of them. So it's just one of those moments where it's like, what kind of character do you want your homegrown Jedi to be? And that's just one of the things that comes up. I know Gabby's version was like, an elegant weapon, and not only is it a weapon, but it's also, like you can be quite artful. You can be quite artful with it. It's like, and so they do a form. It's like, you want to see how artistic this can be? Wielding a lightsaber, and all the kids are like, yes. Yeah, so just different ways to go about it on how you want to explain the stuff. This guy is not flattening out nicely. Hey, Faye casually climbs out of some grave. Faye has arrived. Hello, Faye. Faye, one of the 3 people that voted for a chore stream. So here we are. Faye, how are you doing? Are we like super out of focus right now? Or are my eyes just really blurry? I think my eyes are just blurry. Guys, I'm old. My eyes don't work as good as they used to. Time to trick all over, definitely not Tokyo. Alright, well, I guess it's not going to take me 2 hours to iron all that. I mean, we still did like a full hour. Alright, still alive, just busy. Yeah. I hear that. Technically, work has not been super busy lately. Like, we're in the in-between phases. Like, there's Easter coming up for sure. And technically there's also Eid, graduation starting up. We've got like the early summer Canada Day stuff coming out. Technically there's a Passover section. I don't know how much that's gonna go. Probably not very much. But yeah, it's been really quiet at work lately. And again, it's just like everyone else. Like, no one has money to spend. No one can afford to spend money right now, and this sucks. So because of that, I try not to stress too hard about it. Or it's just like, oh, the sales are down so much this year compared to last year, or what have you. It's like everyone's down, so I'll try not to stress too much about that. Technically, I probably should, because even if it's a global trend, it's still the numbers, and if the numbers aren't as high as aren't where they need to be, then you're still in trouble. So we will cross that bridge when we get there. Yeah. I'm still looking for a job, but I'm trying to see if I can get a job at a Boba Place. Right, I remember you were looking at that, so I can just ride my bike. That would be really convenient, because time spent getting to work is a thing, for sure. Absolutely. So the most annoying thing about the Jedi tunics is you don't want to have ironed creases in them. They should just be smooth all over, which is very tricky sometimes. And that's what I'm trying to deal with right now. Because right now the top of the sleeve is like a real clean, crisp press. We don't want that. We want that. We want that smooth. There's still a little bit of a crease in there. You know what? That's fine. If that fails, I'll go to Dairy Queen. That's also nice. Dairy Queen wouldn't be bad. Definitely a lot of work. I know most of the Dairy Queens in my area are all franchise, so the quality of them shifts dramatically from one to the next. But I mean, in terms of just like raw skills that you will pick up working there, there's like so many different kinds of food they have at Dairy Queen, right? Like they've got the flame grill, they've got the ice cream, they've got the piping of the cakes. You would become very talented in a very short amount of time if you did that, I suspect. I remember at Fan Expo, someone said they were gonna bring a steaming thing. And apparently, those are like amazing. Like once you have the stand-up steamer kit, that you never go back to an iron ever again. But yeah, I believe that. Oops. Whoa. Flatten that seam. Whoops. Okay. I returned my internet died. Oh no! What happened while your internet died? Not too much. I pressed all of the flat rectangle tubes of fabric. I just did the sleeve. Ooh, that's so clean. That is not. Let's just get to it. Yeah, it's funny. I remember talking with some people at Fan Expo. We were just kind of discussing. I was talking about how I was a little surprised to realize that a lot of the Star Wars costume clubs, they skew a lot older than what I was kind of expecting. Like, part of it was that my frame of reference was a very specific, like, kind of handful of people. You know, most of them are pretty nice in general, of course, but just there's a few that were just they're a little enthusiastic about things, like a little more than is maybe necessary for certain things. So once I started getting to meet more of the other groups, I was like, oh, these guys are actually really chill. And it's like, I got a Wi-Fi extender, so I have better connection now. Yeah! Wi-Fi extenders are great. But I was talking about that. It's like, with some other people, it's like, the last time I hung out with all the Star Warses, like, outside of professional setting, was, we got a dinner after the Saturday, of the cons, like, after the first day. And just my side of the table, everyone was just talking about all the stuff they write off on their taxes as business expenses, and, like, all the dietary restrictions that they have now, and like eating the cauliflower pizza crust and how awful and just cardboardy that is, and he's just like, no, that's what you have to do if you don't want to die. It's like, yep, and just everyone acknowledges that. It's like, okay. So I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about my group specifically, the Saber Guild. I'm just like, I kind of feel like our group skews a lot younger than the other groups, and I was like, how did that happen? And one of the other guys made a good point. One of the 501st Legion guys, so like the Stormtrooper guys, and he made a point that the soft costumes are a significantly less steep financial sink compared to the hard costumes. So, 7,000 meters of linen is one thing, but actual like hard case plastic Stormtrooper armor, that's a different thing. It's like, yeah, you know what, that's fair. So you're saying that's part of it, that maybe, like when you're younger, you don't have access to so much money. The soft costumes are a nicer option. So yeah, I think that's fair. That's a fair assessment. I'm not even going to question that. I'm like, yeah, I don't think like, as cool as it would be to be like the armored Jedi from like Old Republic era, like that would be fucking sick. And I know Neville, the boss, he's working on one, I think. That would be fun. Well, yeah, it's interesting hearing some of the other stuff, like certain rules, like you have to have either a soft costume member doing it, or you need someone in like their non-costume like trooping clothes. So a lot of people have what they call like the racing shirt. So it's a printed shirt with like kind of all the logos and branding on it and all that. It's like they come in like red and blue, stuff like that. Or they have the BDU shirt, and that one's cute. And again, it's like once I understood this was the thing, it's like they literally just go to get like an Army surplus shirt, and then they put all the patches onto it. So I got one. I got a shirt last year, near the end of last year, and then I started patching that up. So anytime I was like changed out of my costume at the con, I was just walking around wearing that. Like, I think I've got it hanging around the corner of the stairs. Man, how long have we been ironing? How long have we been ironing this one piece of clothes? This one article of clothing, so that it looks absolutely immaculate. Yeah, so I suspect that's probably a big reason why the majority of our people are still actually I ruin the average pretty bad as an outlier, but like we skew about 30-ish. Average member is about 30 in our group. We got a few late 20s. One newer person who just started coming out to practices. He's early 20s, I think. A bunch of them are in the 30s, like mid 30s, and then of course me and the boss, we're like 39, 40, something like that. A lot had happened since I've watched Twitch. My dad is out of work because of back pain, getting MRI. Yep, MRI. Gonna be a senior. School's getting phone pouches instead of fixing the bathroom. Gonna be 17, so you don't have anyone to hang out with because all my friends play Fortnite or Overwatch. Have I seen Bomb Brush Cyberpunk? I have not. What is that?
It's the game I was telling you about.
Oh, the which one was that, like?
It's the Jet Set Radio.
Oh yeah. I remember. Yeah, Ash was.
Talk about it all the time.
Love letter to Jet Set Radio Future. Okay, I read that as cyberfuck. Faye. Cyberfuck is a different thing. You can spend money on that. You don't have to. There's probably a game for that. You want a cyberfuck? Yeah, there's a game for that. It's called Baldur's Gate 3. Man, let's get those Raphael levels, man. Go so hard, it's great. Okay. Yeah. Alright, well, we mostly got it. Now it's just... Oh, no. QA check. Nope, that's awful. Fix that. Like, literally, like, the front panel of the tunic is right at the shoulder. Just wrinkle, wrinkle, wrinkle. It's like, nope. We cannot have that. This needs to be beautiful and flawless. It was not beautiful or flawless. And in theory, even if there was a crease in the side of this, it's going to be pulled so taut, I'm not going to stress out about that. Still got a lot of texturing in there. But to a degree, it's not too big of a deal because this is the part that's going to be covered by the tabards anyways. So I probably don't need to overthink that. It's fine. Because it's costume clothes. It just needs to look right. And I'm going to be like falling all over the place anyways, so it's fine. Oh man, Ivy, our last practice, we had so much fun. So the boss had gone for a short vacation, went to visit his family back in Alberta, in the next province over. So I was running the practice last Thursday. I'm like, you know what? Let's do those forward rolls. Let's do a lesson on that. So then Kim, the same one I was talking about, they brought some yoga mats just so we didn't have to tumble directly on the concrete. We had a fun day. It wasn't a whole day, it was a bit of that, and then we stopped and we switched it up and we started doing like butterfly jumps and butterfly kicks and stuff like that. So a bit of aerial type stuff. And then I taught a little bit of just real basic like dive rolls. We didn't do full on dive rolls. I think I did a couple, and I think our other guy Seb did a couple, just to make the point that they exist, and it's basically the same. The principle is the same as just the forward roll, except you start off airborne at the start of it. Yeah, and other than that, it was just like a little theory. It was like, where's your hand? Where are your hands during this? Like, if you're holding a lightsaber, what hand is holding it? What are you doing to do that? And I was just thinking, like, how do I do that? And it's just like, I watched the videos. I realized I throw my left. So if this is a sword hand, I'll keep that wherever. But the left hand hits the ground first, really quickly and quietly, and that's where I go off for the rest of the roll. Butterfly is a dodge move in capoeira. Don't ask me how to spell that. There's probably another A in there. That's fine. Butterfly kicks are cool. I used to be a lot better at them when I was in my 20s and super fit. Half a lifetime ago. God damn it. No, the thing I'm sad was like, if I could do the butterfly kick and do like the 360, the weapon underneath you, while you're in the air, oh, that would be amazing. But I'm not gonna hold my breath on that, I don't think. Anyways, I think we did it. Spot check. No, that sleeve can be better. And that's pretty minimal. That's like natural folds at that point. So like, you know, we'll hit it with the water. Hit it with the water. Hit it with the water. There we go. Yeah. I'm looking. Yeah, that's alright. I'm not really cosplaying for a level up. Oh, that's right. Level. When's level up again? Careful when you get your belt. You also get a name. Mine was spaghetti something. I didn't know that was a thing in capoeira. They give you a cute little accolades and titles. It's fun. Not April. Okay. Yeah. Well, you got that cool pirate outfit. You could crack that out again. All right, so that's pretty good. I'll leave this hanging downstairs until I put it on in the morning. Yeah. Let's get the tabards on there too. I have a 3-day weekend, so I get to go all 3 days. Hell yeah! April. What holiday is it in April, or is that just like a Pro D day or something? April. Do I have a stat holiday in April? I should. Yeah. Where is my phone? Do I have a stat day in April? I feel like I should. Oh, who dat? So, my nephew, the older one, the 12-year-old, he got a phone for his birthday, and just more recently, he's just remembered that he has one and that he can text me. So he just texts me during the day nowadays, just about.
Sorry, is my phone
Yes.
there? Can you pass it?
Yes, I can. So he texts me about whatever his new hyper focus is. So right now it's the Saw movies, which is, like, cracks me up. I think they watched the first, as a family, they watched the first one. And then ever since then, he's just thinking about Saw. But he also acknowledges that we told him that all the Saw movies after the second, third one are just get worse and worse. So he acknowledges this. He still wants to see them, but he just messages, he's like, what's the hardest Saw trap in Saw 1 to escape, you think? And he's like, I think reverse bear traps. Like, yeah, that's true. Like, or the glass one. Like, which was that? Like, he had to crawl out of the thing and get out by 3 a.m. or else he'd be stuck. And he's using, like, blood emojis and stuff. It's so funny. St. George's Day in Newfoundland? That's not a stat holiday. April 1st? That's not a real holiday. Oh, that's Easter Monday. Ha! Easter Monday is not a real holiday. May. That's Mother's Day. 20th. Victoria Day. Victoria Day is May. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Just have the day after on the school calendars. Me and my siblings have. It says nothing on other Fridays off. Okay. That's fine. Alright, I think I'm committing to say that ironing is done. It did not take 2 hours. That's not bad. I do have to do some other stuff though, so we'll switch off. Okay, Obi, I will just not put you on there for now. Tabards. These are the worst to put on by yourself. Because they need to be, like, you know, flat down the front, but they also have to be flat across the back. So once you get them down, if they twist a bit when you put the rest of the belt to cinch it in, it's game over. It's just GG. Instant loss. Instant loss. So when you're actually at con and everyone's like in the little change room and everyone's like gearing up into their Star Wars shit, it's just an accepted thing. It's like help each other get your clothes on. So just everyone's just like, hey, can you help me buckle this? Hey, can you just get that snap clipped under between my legs? It's like all that. It's like, hey, can you just make sure my tabards are. I think my phrase was always, can you just help me unfuck my tabards, please? Oh, see that? It's already fucked. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we did it, guys. So I mean, like, admittedly, we were talking this whole time, but this is still like an hour of ironing. So every night for that whole Fan Expo weekend, I was just doing that every night. Saw a clip of the BTS of the Needle Sense, and I knew I'm never gonna watch the song movies. Oh, the needle scenes? Yeah. Like, I will give them all the credit that, like, the contraptions they come up with are clever and quite exciting to watch. They're fun to see, find out how they did it. But just the stories themselves just get so ridiculous by the end of it. It's like, here's the thing. It's like the premise of the first movie is I have a massive fear of needles. No, I can appreciate that. And dolls. And that's the thing, is like the premise of the whole first movie is a man is dying of cancer. And he is ready to just like end his life. But at some point he realized, no, life is precious. Life is a gift. People need to appreciate their lives. So the rest of the movies is him just killing people to be, or putting people into death traps to see how much they want to live. And that's his whole thing. It's like, I'm dying, so I appreciate how important life is. So I want to see if you guys appreciate how important life is. And then inevitably he dies over the course of 10 movies. Like in like the third movie or the fourth movie, he dies from his cancer. And then they still keep making more movies. It's like, oh, by the way, here's this recorded thing he did before he died. So he's still the bad guy. And then like the next movie is like, this is a prequel sort of. As then you need to come up with the excuse for why he's still involved in the story. And it's just you just stretch it. You stretch it more and more, and just it's messy. Yeah, so I was telling my nephews, it's just that thing, like the movies as they go longer and longer, they just stop being as good. Like Aliens, Terminator, Highlander. It's like, you don't know what Highlander is, do you? He's like, nope. Like, let me tell you about Highlander. And all the while he's like sending me Spotify links to all these like wacky like Five Nights at Freddy's songs. And he's just excited to just share stuff with the uncle that understands. That makes me laugh. Alright, the costume is prepped. I'll wake up early and throw that all on. I do need to change the batteries in my sabers though. That's what I need to do. So let's see. Let's put this somewhere that won't kill us. Under the desk. Yes, that'll be a great spot. No, the first Saw is fantastic. It's a great little psychological thing. It works really well. The twist is enjoyable. The performances as people realize what's happened to them all, like this is people just screaming at how out of control everything is in their lives, and it's great. Second one, also a decent. I say it's a decent twist at the end of the second one. And again, just the kills are bigger and crazier. Everything's a little bit more graphic. Hi, bag. Oh, sword bag. They had a bigger budget, so more people are dying. To a degree, that's almost to the movie's detriment, because now it's just about like this crazy kill setup where all these like SWAT guys just ran in and all got effed by the thing. I asked one of my friends if I can borrow one of their Pokemon games on 3DS so I can play it on my brother's 3DS because I'm playing Pokemon Platinum right now. Hey, my nephews are playing Pokemon right now too. He texted me that one time. He was talking about how I was like, oh, I'm about to fight so-and-so. And I didn't reply to him right away. And then I'd come back later. It's this angry emoji. I got beat up. He beat me. I have to go grind now. Boss fights in skating games are nuts. Oh my god. Yeah, that's fair. Are we talking like skateboard skating, or are we talking ice? I have to preface that I'm Canadian. It's all obligatory. I'm gonna grab my lightsaber real quick here. have to check one of them. Like a piece of one was getting kind of broken. I might need to fix that. I'll try to fix that right now. Bomb Brush has skateboards, roller skates, and BMX. You can pick, but each has their own special ability for traversal. So they're all useful. That's cool. Okay. Alright. So let's warm up some glue, because I think I'm going to need glue. What paper is not important to me? Thank you for choosing Void. I'll use that one. Two things I need. One is I need to change the batteries because the batteries are not as pretty as they need to be, especially because we got a show. We gotta go extra hard on the battery. Like this guy. Like, it looks really bright on the screen for sure, but it's quite dim. That it needs to be like blazing bright, so we gotta fix that in a second. For some reason I thought Sun and Moon came out in Nintendo Switch. Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, that was 3DS, wasn't it? Yeah. No, yeah, it totally was. Asked my friend to play it back when you were in real scale theory. I don't know how I thought it came out. I mean, Switch was already... Was it Switch out? Was Switch out yet by that point? I can look that up in a bit. Anyways. So the one I have to fix is my little guy. My little guy's emitter is not lighting up properly. Here's little guy. He's short. Right in the middle here, it is not glowing as nicely as right at the base and right at the tip. And that's sad. And I suspect it's because the flashlighty bit has come loose. So that's why I think it's up. So, you know, this is inside just a single LED. Single bright as fuck LED. And then it's got the little, like, you know, reflective. Well, yeah, I'm blind. It's just got the little just reflective cone, right? So in theory, that just sits on top of the LED. Just comparing it. And in theory, that should light up everything else. But yeah, I think because again, this is Ultra Sabers, which is the least clever company as far as modern stunt lightsabers go. For some reason I thought Sun. No, we already said that. We already talked about that. So everything is literally just like hot glued on top of like circuitry. That said, it did come loose from mine, so I'm gonna just glue that back into place and pray that that's enough to fix it. Yeah, this is definitely the part where it's like, you know, once all these other companies started coming out, it was very clear. I was like, okay, this Ultra Sabers is pretty outclassed now as far as the lightsaber companies go. Really super outclassed. But their prices are still quite reasonable in the grand scheme, and that is why they will always have a niche in the hobby. Just like everything is just like hot glued in. The all the battery bits are just like hanging off of electrical taped wires. It's like it's all very unclever how they do their stuff. They are very inexpensive in the grand scheme compared to a lot of the other companies, so you know what? I will allow this. Alright. So there we are. We've just glued the little mirror bit. Of course, that's the bit where like the light would actually be inside the thing. Alright, unplug that. I wonder if I went about this the wrong way. Maybe I should have glued it on the... Oh, you know what? I think I went about it backwards. I think they originally had that piece glued into the top of this one instead. Oh, that makes so much more sense. Oh, did I screw up? I think I screwed up, guys. Maybe it's still fine. Oh, same difference. That might also just be the blade itself, though. More stuff on your YouTube since TikTok might get banned here in the US. Yeah, I saw that. The whole TikTok in the States thing is getting real silly. Getting unnecessarily silly. Yeah, I think that's just what this one's gonna look like. I should change the blade and see what happens, but yeah, so that's fine. It just means that I can't really use this one to do light painting. But also, the battery is a lot lesser on this one right now. Actually, am I telling the truth or am I telling lies? Let's see. So, let's see what happens if we change the battery. But also, I need to change the pommel. This is not a real pommel on this guy. This is part of a... It's a threaded extending bit. So let's put the actual pommel onto this guy. Because I'm not going to use this as long boy at the school. That would be silly. I stopped trusting the government years ago. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the fun of government, like, and again, that's just that reminder, it's like, why vote if they all suck? Well, in the end, the leaders you vote for are not the taxi that gets you exactly where you want to go. They're the bus that gets you as close as you want to get, as close as you can get to where you want to go. And sometimes that's all you can do for a little while. There's a normal ass pommel. So, I might bring this guy out. Maybe I'll let some kids use it or something. Anyways, let's see. Let's see if changing the batteries does anything to this. I had a weird ass dream last night. I made half-ass storyboard about it. Might animate it later. Hey, yeah, you could do that. How is your other story going, Faye? The one with all the hello world building. That's been a fun story. Also, I need to like keep tally of which batteries are completely dead, which batteries are working but not fresh, and keep track of what I have. Because every time I'm gonna get fresh batteries before the shows, and then at that point I got more expensive batteries. Like, it's only AAA, which is not bad, but I go with the lithiums so that everything is extra bright. Because that's just the aesthetic we want, you know? Alright. Test, is it brighter? Not really. Actually, I mean, it is brighter. Alright, we'll roll with it. It's for the kids. It's for the kids. Yeah, what we're thinking is, because most of the kids we're gonna give them like foam buffers essentially, so that they don't kill themselves. But what we were thinking was for the final so-called exam, is we were gonna be like, all right, this is the sequence. Not everyone has to do this, and again, just the genius of Kim understanding how these things work. Kim. Armor Cyberpunk done. That was short, but only a level or two shorter than JSRF. Oh, okay. That's not too bad then. Yeah, I mean, as long as you didn't pay out the butt for it. But I was saying, yeah, the genius of Kim was just like, not every kid is gonna want to do this like one-on-one, like fight the teacher, prove that they learned the sequence that we taught, but they will still love watching it, especially if it's like their own, like their other friends or classmates or whatever. It's like, okay. So what we were thinking is, we get to the last thing, we show them the routine, we show them the blocking sequence, and then if they want to challenge, do the final test, then they can volunteer to do it. At which point, if they volunteer to do it, then they can use the actual sword, the actual LED guy instead, and that might be a nice incentive. So I'll pack a little guy for that. And the evil red Sith saber. This is also like, it looks so good on screen, but man, it's like dying. The blade is definitely dying, so that's funny to look at. Also, you know what's funny? 'Cause I saw a guy do this one time. Let me see where the webcam source. Chroma out magenta. Does it do what I think it's gonna do? Nope. No, it does not. I saw someone who was able to chroma red. Oh yeah, custom color. Custom color. Chroma red. Let's go. Oh, right, because I'm bathed in red light right now, so I'm disappearing too. Whoa. Huh. No. All right, I'm just gonna I'm gonna give up now. I'm gonna give up on this. But yeah, I saw someone chroma out a red before. He's like, hey, look, guys, I have the dark saber. And it was just like a black blade, but you could see a red hue glowing off of it. So you're like, all right, I see what you're doing there. But yeah, when I get around to making a Sith character, whenever that may be, this will probably be my show sword. It's just very, very practical hilt and grip. Very smooth. Balance is amazing. You do speedies right on this point. It's like wonderful. I'm just gonna play some 7. But I don't need this one. I'm not gonna need this one for the show, so we're gonna put that away. That away for now. Probably won't need it again. The funny thing is, Seb, the fellow, like Faye, you know Seb, the very same. Got Bum Rush 50% off, so it was worth. Oh yeah. Anytime you can get the game half off, always worth. Where's my green boy? There's my green boy. So yeah, it's not like blisteringly bright. So let's change the battery on that too. So the fun thing with this saber I got maybe 3 years ago. Whenever Jedi Fallen Order came out. Seb's a cool dude. He is. His Saber Forged saber, his Sith saber, is taking fucking forever to show up though. He always has to keep using that red one that I have for our shows. Fucking guy. All right. But what was I saying? Yeah, so his saber just hasn't shown up yet. So every time I have to lend him mine so that he has a working saber for all the stuff. So I'm curious to see what'll happen once he finally gets his, because I know mine is a pretty long saber. It's like the hilt itself is already like 13-14 inches, and then I use 36-inch blades. Apparently most people, they kind of like more like the 32-inch size blade. And I'm like, no. I must have all of the reach. I must have all of the physics. Yeah. Also, he's a good sport because I'm pretty sure when we do this May 4th show, he's going to be the one bad guy versus 3 good guys. Which still means he kills 2 of us. So that's fine. Anyway, this is, again, Ultra Saber, not super clever. It's just 4 AAA batteries. And then a Velcro strap to make sure they stay in. But yeah, what was I saying? This saber I got when they made this one when Jedi Fallen Order came out, which I think was about 3-4 years ago. But this pommel specifically was on the original saber that I got like a decade ago, like more than like 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. So I figured once I decided that this was going to be like the show saber that I wanted for my Jedi character, I was like, this will be the sentimental part that I'll use my old pommel. And man, I have focus. Oh, almost focused. I'm trying to get to focus because this pommel has seen some shit. This is like it is severely dinged up, and I'm okay with that, honestly, because it's got personality. Yeah, I've dropped this saber. I've dropped this pommel a lot. But no, it's just my baby. I definitely think that's one of the parts that's really fun. Is you pick the saber you want to use, and it will reflect what kind of person you want to be pretty well. So that's fine. I had designed a weird-ass boat for Finnegan, one of the characters in my story, because I made him as a sailor pirate, and he had learned how to build his first boat before buying his main one. Yeah, that's fair. That's how that be sometimes. Alright, so this is with fresh LED batteries. Oh! Yeah, that's the stuff. Like that blisteringly bright. Also, man, I have so much scuff mark on this blade from fighting kids with boffer swords. It's like a lot of little dashes of red paint and stuff. That's fun. All right, so the swads are ready to go. The costume is ready to go. Guess I should bring a duffel bag with clothes to change into so I can go straight to work afterwards. That'll be fine. Yeah, that's mostly that. What's hot? What are you laughing about now? So I think we're pretty good to go. We still got a little bit of time though. I guess some channel updates. What's going on with us? The achievement name for beating the final boss is now go outside. Okay, that's cute. I like that. So channel news. What's worth knowing? Those other guys, in theory, should be maybe getting back into the swing of stream soon. They should be settled in. They should have internet properly now. It could just be desire, interest. I don't know. I know they're still figuring out the life work stuff on their end. I think Rashi had a good update, so I think his outlooks are looking a little nicer right now. So they should start getting back into streams maybe sooner than later, because I know Rashi was going to stream Final Fantasy Rebirth. So that'll be good. What else is worth knowing while I've got y'all's attentions? Speaking of May 4th, it's funny that it just worked out this way, but our channel anniversary is also May 4th. It just happened to be the first day we streamed. And every now and then I go back to double check, like, was that actually the day? And I think I can remember that day because when we did our very first stream ever, we were like, should we play something Star Wars? Because it's May 4th, and then we didn't. We played Overcooked instead. But that means our channel anniversary is coming up real soon. So actually, that was one of the things I was thinking about doing. Is like maybe I'll just cut together video for that, because that's coming up. And I need to think about that soon too. It's fun. I enjoy editing videos together like that, like trailers. So yeah, we get to do a year 7 trailer soon. That's, I don't know if you guys know this, but we've been doing this for 7 years, and that's funny. Yeah, we'll probably do a thing again. I need to talk with the others on what we want to do for our anniversary stream. Last year, a couple years ago, we did a whole bunch of videos. We did compilations. Last year, we did trivia. That was really fun. I might see if we want to do trivia again. Yeah, that was really fun. What else? That's most of it. Yeah, the SCH show. I had a couple of cute ideas. I'm planning on an animation for D5. Are you actually fake? Like no cap? No joke? That would be amazing. I would show that off. I would show that off so hard if you did that. That would be amazing. I'd be down for that. Yeah, what kind of trailer do I want? Like, I had the concept for the current trailer was so in my head. I was like, I know exactly what I want to do for this, and I think it came out so well. And I'm like, it's hard. It's gonna be hard to top that one. The current 6-year one. Oh, it's it was good. I was really proud of that one. One before that was a bit of a rush job. The one before that was pretty good too. Dead ass. Oh hell yeah.
A winner is you.
Mark, hello. I was like, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. I finished my ironing like an hour ago, and then I've just been hot gluing and putting batteries into lightsabers for the past half hour. How are you doing, Mark? How are you doing? Also, it's past 9 o'clock. We can watch Shogun now. Speaking of, literally reanimating an old animation, like I'm making a storyboard right now. So, oh, that's awesome. See, at least you make storyboards. I don't make that stuff. But also, you're like actually making animations. I'm just cutting together clips. I haven't started that yet. It's good, Mark. It's real good. Without saying too much, you know how in the olden days, special effects for cannons were just kind of like the cannon would go bang, and then somewhere in the ground would just explode, and everyone near the ground would go ugh and fall down. And everyone was like, that's not how cannons work. And then the Patriot came out, and they actually had the cannonball like bouncing across the ground and just like taking people out as it rolled through. And we're like, that's what cannonballs are like, yeah. And then there was a Russian movie that I looked up one day. I think it was while I was playing Empire, and I was talking about a canister shot and how epic that is. And I remember looking up I found a movie that like showed canister fire like really well. It was some Russian movie about some revolution that got snuffed out. But yeah, it was just like these standing regiments of rebel soldiers just being like, we're not leaving until you guys come out and meet our demands, and they just hit them with canister shot and then instead. So first we had the bullshit cannons, then we had the pretty realistic looking cannonballs, or the more authentic cannonballs, then we had the more authentic canister shot, grape shot. All I will say about Shogun, chain shot. Other than that, though, it's good. I know the production with it. What's his name? The guy playing Toranaga. It's Hiroyuki Sanada. Sanada. Hiroyuki Sanada. No, it's not Sanada. That guy. He's a producer, so he's making sure everything is as authentic as possible. It's like all the extras are proper, even though it's all filmed in Vancouver. And our boy Cruz is in there somehow. And he has ambiguous ethnicity, so I guess he gets to be in everything. Lucky bastard. So everything is done as cleanly as it could. The other thing is like the whole thing with the cannons is in the original book and in the 1980 miniseries, Toranaga wants Blackwell? What's his name? Blackwell. You'd think I would remember this by now, but no I don't. Blackthorn. His name is Blackthorn. He commands Blackthorn in the book and in the first miniseries to train his soldiers in musket warfare. You know, like show us give me an advantage over my enemies. And then this current showrunners were like, two things. One, this is the 1600s, so the Portuguese would have already introduced muskets to the Japanese like 50 years prior. So they would know how muskets work. And then two was, well, he's a naval pilot, like he's a sailor. So why would he know land warfare? So like, let's make him train them in the use of cannons. And that's what, so he's teaching them how to use cannons. I was like, yes, good. It's real fun. I quite enjoy it. That guy James Clavell, it took me a second to realize, like, wait, this is the same guy that wrote that other book that I read in high school. He wrote King Rat, which was a story about Allied POWs in a Japanese internment camp, POW camp. And it's mostly told from the POV of a British Air Force officer. But the main character is this guy. They just call him King, and he's an American soldier who just like commands the entire camp. Like he's very charismatic. He's very like leadership. He plans all the schemes, and it's just interesting because eventually, come to the end of the story as they get rescued. They get liberated by the Allies. So an American paratrooper paratroops in, and basically is just going to the Japanese and be like, "All right, I'm in command here now." And there's just a bit like all of the prisoners are like they can't even believe that that's a real allied soldier, because like first off he's like not malnourished, he's like strong, he's aggressive with like all of their jailers, so they're all like hiding away from him, and except for King, who comes out and is like, hi, yeah, I'll talk to you. And it's like, oh, who are you? And he's like, Corporal King, he says. So all this while, this dude has been running this whole show. He was a corporal, like one level up from the bottom of the enlisted men. And that was just that thing. It was like, once you're in prison, no one cares about your rank anymore. So James Clavell wrote what he called the Asian saga or something. It might have been Oriental saga. These are like in the 70s. So Shogun is in there. That's in there. I think there was one about Hong Kong. And they're neat. Like, you know, obviously he was an English POW in a Japanese camp, so he did have that life experience to pull from. But yeah, generally like the Shogun stuff is quite good. It feels reasonably authentic as a fictional story written by an Englishman about the Japanese. I know, for example, like Toranaga in Shogun is based on Tokugawa Ieyasu. So he's kind of inspired by. So we'll see what he does. We'll see what he do. And it's just that thing you do. Is like you got in this one we got Hiroyuki Sanada to play him. In the 1980 miniseries, they actually got Toshiro Mifune to play him. So like the samurai actor of like the most famous one of all time. He played Toranaga back in the 80s. Like, that's cool. It's, yeah, Shogun's fun. I'm excited to watch some more of that, which I'll probably do right after stream, because it's past 9 now, and I can do that. What else is... now I'm talking about TV shows. Who's watching X-Men 97? Eh? Oh, so good. Iron is not burning anymore. I just play games. That's also fair. I do need to get back into Baldur's Gate right after I watch Shogun. No, I can't. I need to go to bed because I gotta wake up ass early because I gotta drive to Chilliwack tomorrow. Alright, we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out later. You know what? I think we good. Yep. Jedi Knight deck Elegant is ironed and pressed and ready for duty tomorrow. And frickin' Chilliwack. Chilliwack. Yeah, Chilliwack, that's... I'm hoping that gas is cheaper in Chilliwack. If gas is cheaper in Chilliwack, then it'll all be worth it. Ish. That's fine. So after Fan Expo, there was a youth pastor who watched our show, like our kids show that we did with Saber Guild. So he asked to see if we would be willing to come out to his like spring break camp and just like do a lesson. So I've got all like the kids' lightsabers in my car right now in the trunk. So we were just like, yeah, we could do that, sure. And I was just figuring out the day and like, you know, when we could do it. So yeah, we'll do the Tuesday. Like I usually close, so I could do the morning. So I should remind work, actually, I'm probably going to be late tomorrow. But, so yeah, we said, yeah, we'll do it. So we just put our lesson plan together quickly the other day, or last week. And we'll just do that quickly, and then I'll drive off to work after that. But at the time, we were just like, oh, yeah, where's the spring break camp anyways? And the boss is checking the messages and all this, like, it's in the whack. And I just... Safe trip. You're going against traffic, so hopefully it won't be... Yeah, I think it should be okay. Like, the worst case will be like hour and a half. And I think that's one of those funny things where just people from Metro Vancouver are just... We're not built the same as everyone else. Like, there was a woman from Alberta. I forget if she was from, like, Grand Prairie or something like that. And she was talking about, oh, yeah, you guys can all, you know, take a road trip out to Chilliwack and go to see our sabers and all that. And I'm like, I don't know, it's like an hour and a half out for drive. And she's like, you guys wouldn't be willing to drive an hour and a half to do something? And I was like, it just occurred to me, it's like, yeah, most people would. We wouldn't. Like, getting people out of Richmond with a half-hour drive was hard enough. Let me tell you. But yeah, no, everyone else is willing to drive like a couple hours to go visit friends, and we're just like, I don't know, an hour and a half. That's pretty tough. So yeah, so we'll do that. Maybe we'll swing by CR Saber for a hot second, but other than that, we're just gonna go in and out, and then I go to work. Our time's too valuable. You know, to a degree it is. Also, gas is expensive. You know. So all I'm saying is these 21 kids better appreciate. My English class is reading Great Gatsby. Fun. I actually never read Great Gatsby. That was not on my curriculum. I hear it's fun though. I think you'll have fun with it. What did I read? I read Animal Farm. Animal Farm was sick. I enjoyed Animal Farm. Who was I was actually talking with Rashi about that. We're just like, you know, Animal Farm is like it's about talking animals, and they have a revolution, and they kick out the humans, and they take over the farm for themselves, and then the pigs are the rulers of it all, and one of them is a real asshole, but the other one's actually really sweet. But actually, he's also an asshole. He's just better at hiding it. And I just remember us reading that in grade 10. And everyone just being like, oh man, Napoleon's such a terrible pig. But oh, Snowball, he's so great. And it's like, Snowball sucked too. And then later you find out the whole thing was an allegory for the Russian Revolution. You're like, okay, that's cool. Animal Farm, man. Yeah, Great Gatsby should be fun. Canadians were such assholes in World War I. Yeah. That was the other thing Rashi likes to say. Just when we were talking about this stuff, is just like, yeah, you know, Canadians were like a direct, were like an immediate reason for the Geneva Conventions, yeah, but not for the reasons you think. Yeah, there were a lot of war crimes. Canadians did a lot of war crimes over there. Couldn't stop killing POWs, yeah. No, we was angry. We was angry folk back then, you know. It's messed up. This is like when people talk, it's like, oh, I've never been to Chilliwack. What's in Chilliwack? It's like CR Sabers, and there's a statue of a bagpiper. What is the name? James Cleland Richardson. Private Piper James Cleland Richardson. He was part of a Scottish regiment from Chilliwack. Well, he was from Chilliwack, and he joined up with a Scottish regiment. And he's got a cool story. I'll tell a quick war story, and then we'll sign off. But yeah, Piper James Cleland Richardson. He was a enlisted man during World War I. Went to Europe. I don't remember which battle it was. Most of what I know about Canadian geography is East Coast and LARPer groups. You know what? That's fair. Like for us, it's Washington State because they're like our neighbors, and Washington State is basically BC. Like just the people, the geography, the biomes, it's all the same. But yeah, so I couldn't tell you which battle it was. I think it was in France though, and just they couldn't make the advance, and he just looks at his commanding officer, hey, shall I give you a wind? And he's like, I give a wind. And he gets out of the trench and just starts marching back and forth. I don't know if he was in front of the trench or behind the trench, but he was just playing his pipes, just walking back and forth like a damn madman. And he rallied everyone, and they did the attack. They were successful, and his legacy was established. Like a little while after that, like maybe like a week or so later, he is on duty to escort prisoners to the rear, to battalion. And just before he starts, he realizes, oh, I left my bagpipes out at the front. I'll be right back. And he left to go get his bagpipes. And then he was never seen again. So now we fast forward like 60, 70 years, 80 years. I could look this up to get the exact numbers. But just many, 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 many years later, there's a Canadian guy in France, just touring around. I don't know what his work was specifically, but he ended up in this little elementary school. I think it was an elementary school. It was a school. It was a school in France, and just under glass, there was this set of muddy ass bagpipes, and it was just the caption on them was just, you know, bagpipes from World War I of an unknown soldier. And he's just like, hold on a second, and he's like, what is the tartan pattern on this bagpipe? And he runs it, and it connects to the regiment, to that regiment from back then. So they're just like, holy shit, this is James Cleveland Richardson's bagpipes. So they repatriated those to Canada. They now sit under glass in the BC Parliament building in Victoria. So I've actually seen them. I think they used to be in front of the building, and then now it's inside the building proper. And I saw them. I was like, I know the story. The people I was with, I was pointing out, telling them the story of this, and they're like, oh wow, that's cool. So there's an actual bronze statue of Richardson in Chilliwack. I think it might be like in front of City Hall or something like that. So, you know, hometown hero. Yeah. So I think that's about. Yeah. No, it's a neat little story. There's. Me being me, of course, I looked up a lot of Canadian war stories. It's like, cause these are the ones that I don't learn about otherwise. I gotta look them up myself. And there's some cool ones. There's a lot of Chinese American Chinese Canadian spies during World War II, because it's like Hong Kong is a British colony. I know the language, so part of it was people who were trapped in Hong Kong when everything fell down, but the other part of it was people from like Vancouver who were just like, no, we're volunteering, we're gonna go do stuff. And yeah, a lot of people went over to do that because they looked the part, they could speak the language. Yeah, it's neat. Anyways, I think that's enough wartime history. I'll tell, like, if we want to do a chat about war stories, well, I could do that sometime too. Story where Canadians threw grenades instead of corned beef during the Christmas truce. Did we do that? Of course we did that. Man, we assholes. The Christmas truce is a weird thing, man. Because when you actually think about it, like it's a cute story, but also just like, how did we get here? And of course, it's always sad afterwards when you talk about it later. We're just like, and then what happened? And then the officers had to come out, and then we attacked the trench. Damn. This is why no one liked the Canadian. No one liked fighting Canadians. They were all assholes. And what's happened to our military since? Just damn mess. Very, very sad. Very unfortunate. It's fine. It is what it is. Alright, so I think that's going to be it for that. Next week, I don't think I'm going to start anything fresh, but I will probably play Starship Troopers Extermination. I haven't played in a while. There's been a lot of updates. And my boy John from Tennessee really wants to play some games right now. He finally got working internet at his home, like good internet. He's like, I need to flex this. Also, he's like, I need some life distractions right now. I was like, yeah, that's fair. We'll do that, man. So if any of you guys want to play Starship Troopers next week, we'll probably do that. We'll see how tired I am. We'll be coming back from SoccerCon, like literally right during that moment. So hopefully we're not like ass dead, but hopefully we'll be back in high spirits, making that sick USD. So you know, wish us luck. Yeah, so we'll leave it at that. I'm gonna put this away, and I'm gonna watch some Shogun. So thanks for the three of you who came by. I appreciate. Thank you for hanging out with me while I get my chores done. Anyone else who's not you three, you know, we are of course the Daring Player Squad, 5 people from Vancouver and 1 lone person in Victoria now because our friends moved back to Vancouver, who usually play video games, but sometimes we do other stuff like iron our cosplays, which when everything is running perfectly, we stream just about every night of the week. That has not been the case lately because moving and work-related things and no work-related things and injury-related things and all the above. So we will worry about that later. If you haven't followed us here on the channel, best place to keep track of us. Otherwise, you know, you can always find us on all the other things, such as we got the Twitter account, we got the Discord. That's literally, the Discord's the reason why we did the stream in the first place. I'm just like, I could either scrap the stream because I got to do my thing. I could just stream myself ironing shit, or I could maybe like stream me like cutting some video together. And I was like, chore stream. Everyone just voted chore stream immediately. And Faye was the only one who showed up. So thank you, Faye. You were a real one. We still love them. We love everyone else. We love them. All of you guys are great. You're all fun. I love you all. Yeah, and everything else, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, sort of. And of course the YouTube channel mostly serves as an archive because Twitch doesn't love us enough yet. That's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna quickly watch the TV and then go to bed so that I don't fall asleep driving to Chilliwack. So once again, my name is James. We are the Daring Player Squad. Yippee, says Faye. And I'll see you guys hopefully next week, as long as I'm not dead. Go play your games now. Bye-bye. Welcome to the Daring Player Squad.
Welcome to the Daring Player Squad channel. My name's Rashi.
What up?
Hello.
My name is Joyce of the Daring Player Squad, and
I got you. I'm moving out of the area really quick.
Oh no!
I swear to sweet Jesus Christ, if there's someone in here, I'm gonna fuck.
Oh. Excuse me. That's gotta be pee, honestly.
Literally telling me that I'm a punk bitch. Inventory. Excuse me.
Come on. Yes. Maybe we should get a robe and wizard hat for some guy.
Sora, do you see dead people?
doesn't matter who you love, everyone's got a pooper.
No, Cloud, you son of a bitch!
Oh, he's so oh, Jesus Christ!
And this is the Daring Player Squad. Hold on.